the word relationship in the title doesn't necessarily imply romantic ones. Anyways, hello folks, it's me, Lawrence, back again, doing a video by myself. Look, ma, I'm independent. Anyways, as I was saying, relationship doesn't necessarily mean, like, dating. And disclaimer, this is mostly going to be based off my own experience, just my own, because, I didn't really go to all my friends and say, hey, can you give me your experiences for a video? I didn't. Maybe I should have. Anyways, so when I mean, my depression didn't start really going full swing until like halfway, maybe farther through elementary school. And by sixth grade, I had very few friends. Or, well, actually, that's not necessarily true. I had a few people I thought of as close friends, but a lot of people I just thought of as, like, acquaintances. And that continued through, like, seventh grade. There were people, I remember this girl, Kiana, I think. Yeah, that was her name. Something like that. I talked to her, and we got along, but it's like, we didn't, like, hang out or anything. That's where I, like, classify people as friends. If I hang out with you at lunch, you're a good friend of mine. I mean, like, yeah. And the important part of this whole tangent is I didn't have a whole lot of close friends. I had, like, normal friends that I sometimes talk to. And the trouble comes because for a while now, my depression has, I can't remember the word, it's rolled back a little bit. Like, I've been doing pretty good, but now, occasionally I'll get hit with depressive episodes. Like, for example, in, my last relationship, or, well, second to last, something like that. I think it's a bad sign if I don't remember the if that technically counts. Whatever. Anyways, the person I was with was telling me, "You're so distant. I don't even know you at this point." And it's like, okay. And the distance that I was putting between me and them was mainly due to my depression. I was going through a vastly depressive episode. I was really, really not doing well. And I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out because I felt like they're going to end things. That was a thing that happened a lot. I get hit with depressive episodes, and I get the biggest thing that would happen would I get really distant. I remember around that same time, it wasn't just with that person. I was avoiding people as much as possible. Like, I talked to them at school, but I usually had people over at my house, or I would go to their house pretty often. During that period, I didn't. I disassociated from most after school stuff. I said no to people when they asked if I want to hang out. I usually would have said yes. And I finally started forcing myself to get outside that zone, and I invited one of my friends, or, well, he asked if he could come over, and I had to, in the span of about 5 seconds, I had what basically equates to a 30-minute mental debate, and I was okay. I was eventually like, sure, and he came over, we hung out, that was cool, and slowly I started forcing myself to interact with people more, and so at the time I met one of my, well, they're a good friend of mine, but I don't talk to them much anymore. Yeah, that's honestly pretty sad. And another aspect is being in a relationship where the other person is depressed. And maybe my judgment's a little clouded because I have depression, and even if I am with someone else with depression, it's a bit weird because I have depression too. But I mean, for example, somebody I was with romantically, um, they were very emotionally detached, and it bothered me a lot. It bothered me a whole lot, and I felt horrible. And that relationship ended badly, very badly. And yeah, but anyways, um, I've been talking enough about romantic relationships. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about like normal platonic friendships because that's a big part. It's hard, really goddamn hard, because your friends might say to you, "Oh, you're always gloomy, man. Lighten up." It's like, shut up. I don't have a choice in this matter. I mean, having friendships with someone who's depressed, like one of my good friends, really good friends, I consider him one of my close friends, but he has admitted to me he sometimes thinks about bashing my head open on a rock. You know who you are. Hi, how are you doing? Um, he's nice. He's nice though. We have fun. We have fun, and he's a nice guy, and he's been going with pretty severe depression, dysthymia. That's what the doctors called it, and he was originally, I think, they were going to put him on antidepressants, but if I remember correctly, he said no because they thought he'd kill his. They He thought they'd kill his sense of humor, and if that's not the best excuse I've heard for not taking antidepressants, I don't know what is. And that friendship, it. I mean, you can succeed in friendships, but you can also fail. I mean, a lot of my friends I've either drifted away from or had very violent like back and forth with them because of depression, and it's horrible. It's horrible. And another thing, which I have some experience with, because it happened very recently. Um, when a relationship, romantically specifically, because this is what I'm talking about right now, when it ends, and I'm going to talk about this very vaguely because obviously I don't want to, because if the person sees this video, they're going to know who they are. Hi. I made some bad choices, some very, very, very bad choices, and I hurt them in the process. And it went very south, and they did not want to talk to me whatsoever. And I was really not doing well. Like that, things got worked out recently, so we're on speaking terms. Things still aren't great because I need to prove to them that I'm not gonna make those same mistakes again. So it's shaky, but you know what? I'm trying my damn best, and um, it really affected me. I genuinely was in a really bad place because when something like that happens to you, when you care about someone and you screw it up, or they screw it up, or somebody screws up and things go badly, it hurts. It hurts so much because in my case, it was somebody I genuinely cared about more than anything. And I screwed that up so badly. And I, obviously, fell into a state which I hate, hated. I was in a very, very bad place. Oh man, I was not doing well. And this was 2 days ago. This is when, I mean, things had already been shaky for a while, and then everything 2 days ago or so, it went very, very badly. And yesterday, things got resolved, so that's very, very lucky. I got very, very lucky because I was helped by my friends, my support system. they helped me with this, and now me and that person are on speaking terms, working through things. But not everybody has friends that good. And relationships, especially high school ones and stuff like that, like in this at this current time, they're shaky, to be honest. Some of them, some I've heard stories of relationships that start in like middle school, going on, and the people are married for their lives, and that is nice, and it's a great dream, and it takes a lot of work to make it a reality, and even relationships when you're older, they're hard. And I mean, depression makes it even harder because depression affects you in so many different ways, and that can affect your relationship with that person. It can affect how they think of you because you could be doing a certain thing or feeling a certain way, and they're like, "Hey, this is either like stressful for me, or I cannot put up with this." It's hard. It can hurt relationships very badly, and it's hard. It really is. It's hard to handle that kind of stuff. And this is I've just been talking for a while. I've been just talking about romantic stuff. Friendships. Friends come and go very frequently. I remember I've had a friend for years, since third grade. Really early on, I want to preface this. He's a nice guy. He is very hyper and has made some bad choices. I focused on being his friend, and a lot of my friends fell into the background. And you know what? It was a bit just. It's looking back on it, it's a bit distressing, but he's honestly a guy who I'm very similar to. So you know what? I'd rather have one good friend that I'm really close to, and we think the same way, than a huge amount of friends that I don't really work well with. And that friend and I had some disagreements, and for a long time we had disagreements. There were periods where we didn't talk to each other. There was a period when I went over to his house, and me, him, and I think his cousin were going to go somewhere, and we had a huge disagreement, and I just left. I don't live too far, and so I just started walking home, and they picked me up because he had been having an argument with his cousin. I just left. I straight up left, and as I'm walking home, a car passed me. It was his mother with him and his cousin in the back seat. I got in the front seat because I'm the tallest, and we went to where we were going, and things worked out. And I mean, this is just an example of one situation. I've had many friends over the years, some of whom I've lost. A lot of the time, it's because of my decisions being real sketchy, or, well, bad in general. And I have made bad decisions when it comes to friends, like picking the wrong people, trusting them too much. I know that now. There are some people that I have put my trust in and have let me down very greatly. I mean, for example, that happened very recently. There was somebody I trusted very much. They told me some things. I listened to them, and it got me in a whole world of trouble. And for me, personally at least, for a long time, if somebody was nice to me, I latched onto them because I needed that help. I needed the help because I mean, the person I was just talking about that I trusted and who let me down, I've known them for years. And I latched onto them because I met them when I was still very depressed, and they helped me. They were nice to me. Now I'm doing better, and now that I realize they're an incredibly toxic and horrible human being, I can disassociate from them. Because one, I'm stronger now. I can manage more independently, but I prefer having friends that I can go to. But that person has hurt me and caused me to hurt people I care about through their garbage advice. And friendships, relationships, they're hard when you're depressed. They're hard in general, actually. They're even harder when you're depressed because depression affects everybody differently, and it can have some really negative effects. And there's not a whole lot else to say on the matter. So I've been talking long enough. I will wrap this up. Um, so yeah, if you guys enjoyed this long-winded whatever this is, I'd encourage you to leave a like, a comment, because channel interaction, boosts us in the algorithm. We want to reach out to more people. And I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, obviously do what I just said. And if you like this, maybe check out a few of our more of our videos. I do ones, me and my mom do them mostly together. I do some by myself, and she hasn't done some by herself in a long time. Well, not a long time, a while. But I do some by myself, but we mainly do them together. So if you like me, just me, you can check me out. If you want to see, if the videos with my mother are better, go check that out. And anyways, enough about that. Subscribe if you like our content. It would be greatly appreciated, and it helps us, and so we can reach out to more people and produce content for more people. And so I'd like to thank you, people, whoever's watching this, you at home. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.